watching West Wednesday 621, Justice for Tyrone West and Justice for all victims of police brutality. Tawanda, it's all you.
On technology things that I need.
It's breaking up a lot. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like literally breaks me up, had me all choppy. So I apologize in it for any technical issues. But as we show you when we're online, we try to show you the video. We're gonna show you the video that we play every week.
Brian, it dropped off again. Should I play the video?
Yeah, I would play the video.
Okay.
Can't stop, won't stop, till killer cops or in cell blocks. Can't stop.
The following video portrays an incident of assault and violence at the hands of police. Viewer discretion is advised.
I suggest you back the fuck up. No,
This is Baltimore City Police Officer Jorge Bernardes Ruiz. In a video shot in 2016, Ruiz is seen with his knee on the back of an unknown man with a gun pointed at the man's head. His message was a clear one. Concerned onlookers, adhere to my dictates or else. Here, we can hear Ruiz saying to Baltimore residents,
I suggest you back the fuck up.
It is documented that Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardes Ruiz is a repeat violent offender, even without access to all complaints against Ruiz, undisclosed by BPD Internal Affairs records. 6 cases involving Ruiz are known. This video will briefly highlight 6 total cases beginning in July of 2013. Case 1, Abdul Salam, July 1st, 2013. Here Salam is seen victoriously smiling in celebration after the jury found Ruiz and 2 other cops liable for brutality against him. However, because the trial was civil, not criminal, Ruiz was not fired and he did not go to jail.
Police profiled me. They followed me in the back of my house, harassing me. Police proceeded to violently and hostilely approach my van with me and my son in it. As I announced, this was my home, guns drawn. Once they reached my vehicle, they violently pulled me out, ramshacked my vehicle with my 3-year-old son strapped in his car seat, threw me against the gate, slammed me repeatedly, picked me up by my feet, and while I'm upside down, they proceeded to drop me on my head, hog-tie me, and immediately when I fell on my head, Ruiz, in a wrestling type of action, and kind of hit his knee against my neck. I was arrested. I had no idea what I was being arrested for. My son is scarred to this day. He remembers the incident as it happened yesterday. When he talks about it, he always refers to Daddy being on the floor with police yesterday.
Case 2, Darrell Harris, profiled, as seen in this video, July 17th, 2013.
Yeah, Sid, what's wrong with it? Improper way with it. There's no such thing as an improper way.
You gonna tell me my job, bro?
I know the law.
Are you gonna tell me the law?
I know the law.
You gonna tell me the law?
I know the law. What's the problem? You giving me a ticket? You need my license registration?
Yeah, let me get it up.
Profile, y'all use the seatbelt as a reason. Profile.
Sir, do me a favor, take out your keys.
Yeah, you can record for what? Nah. I don't feel safe right now. Do you want me to step out the car? Do you want me to step out the car? I'll step out the car. Call the police, man. What do you call a supervisor? I'm about to do shit. This is getting uploaded to the internet right now. Yeah?
And we are two law-abiding citizens that we're getting targeted, and I don't know why.
Just 24 hours later, Bernardes Ruiz played a leading role in the police killing of unarmed Tyrone West. Case number 3, the murder of Tyrone West, July 18th, 2013.
My brother Tyrone West was brutally murdered on July the 18th, 2013.
In both of these cases, when you look at the pleadings and the harsh language of these officers that have been quoted to me by reliable witnesses, the N-word.
And Killer Ruiz and Killer Chapman and the rest of those 11 and 15 killers, including David Lewis, took something from my family that they could never give us again. And that was my brother Tyrone West, one unarmed man who was brutally murdered, beat to death in broad daylight.
Mic
Mic
check.
check.
We're back.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Or sound check to actually see if, and I apologize for all the foolishness on. Guys hear me?
Yes, we hear you well.
I can hear you. Rachel, can you hear Tawanda?
Yep, I can hear. But now I can't hear anything if anyone is talking.
Mic check.
So, Brother Brian, can you hear Rachel?
I can't hear. Well, I have my sound turned off on my computer.
Now I can hear you both.
Hang on a sec. Let me do something else here. I'm going to put my headphones on. Okay. Okay, Twan, it says they can hear us both. Tawanda, go ahead.
Mic check me?
Yeah, mic check.
Okay. Rachel, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
She can hear you.
Okay, because I can't hear her at all. So, sorry, we're having technical issues, and I'm not surprised this happened. All I'm doing is just literally peaceful.
Twan, I'm not hearing you. Oh.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I missed you for a little bit there.
Yeah, so I was just going on because every time I enter my hood, as soon as I turn on my block, services just go straight downhill. So I apologize in advance. But can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just going to dive in before I.
I'm not hearing you.
You say you're hearing me?
Go ahead.
So did you hear anything I just said just now?
Not before you asked me if I heard anything.
Oh, wow. So I'll repeat that this is week 651, and I was apologizing for the technical issues that we're having, and it's really sad, and was explaining to everyone just to be transparent that something weird is happening because every time I onto my block, my whole entire phone system gets shut down. Vices, all types of stuff. It's a lot of foolishness that's happening. Did you hear that?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Did you hear that?
I did.
Okay, cool. So the horrible that occurred again, the latest police brutality. It like my heart is like ripped into pieces. And literally, when I heard the news yesterday, and I saw it when people were filming and saw all the police there on the scene, I knew immediately that it was a cover up happening. For worthless Worley to keep coming out defending these killer cops. And I know they're going to chop all this video up, but I don't care. They're not going to stop me from speaking my truth. And this is not the West Coalition. This is Tawanda. You know, that's my disclaimer. I'm responsible for what I say. Nobody in connection tells me what to say, and they don't even know what I'm saying. These are my real, raw emotion feelings. So I just wanted to say I'm not speaking for the West Coalition, speaking as the sister West. My brother Tyrone West was executed, and immediately the cover-up began. When they had over 60 persons of one unarmed man homicide, I knew immediately, my gut let me know immediately. And when I saw that 6 scene yesterday, my thoughts were they were covering up. My thoughts immediately was that that young man died on the scene, that he was ambushed, and the reason why they did not pull out the black sheep and put up the yellow tape was of course they put up the yellow tape because when it's any type of scene going on, but the reason why
Tawanda, I'm not hearing you. Go ahead, Tawanda.
yes, but they're not going to stop my message. They go night. They can never. They might just stop my phone, break this, but they will never stop me. Truth. They will never stop me from telling my truth. As I was saying before, my phone just was completely it's sending for no reason. Like my phone is not broken. It's no water damage. None of that. It's them playing. But literally, when my brother was murdered, I knew something wasn't right. And yesterday, when I saw all those police officers on the scene, and I saw that the community was in an uproar, and literally they was like trying to intervene to save that young man's life, I knew right then and there something wasn't wrong. And even down to the part when they said that, oh, the suspect shot the officer in the foot. And this again, not the West Coalition. This is strictly Tawanda Jones. I believe the officer shot his own damn self in the foot. Because literally, when you go through a gun training, they tell you make sure when you're taking your gun out your holster, right? Make sure that you have the locks and safety guards on because you will shoot yourself in the foot. And I believe he was so thirsty to kill a man in cold blood that it's ridiculous. And then for Commissioner, you hear 4 different stories. My sister told me that it was 4 different stories. I knew immediately it was a bunch of foolishness. And then when I tried to post it on Facebook, saying that it was a young man. At first I said it was a young man killed by the police, but then because they said that it was in critical condition, they're lying. I don't believe him. I believe he was dead when they ambushed him on the scene. But nevertheless, I was praying, and once I found out, they said that the young man was pretty much, pretty much still alive. I changed it and I said the police shot someone, and I said the police are not judge, jury, and executioner. And then literally for me to have black brothers coming on and oh, well, they shouldn't have brandished the gun, and oh, all this foolishness. But again, let me remind you, I'm not out here just for my unarmed brother Tyrone West. I'm here for even the fools that's coming for me. I'm here for you, my brothers. And it's sad and disgusting that you guys always believe what the media tells you. Always, no matter what. Just like literally when I was telling you guys years ago that when my brother was executed, beat to death in broad daylight, one unarmed man, that somebody broke in his house, all this foolishness. Nobody believed me until you heard about the gun trace task force breaking in people's homes, planting drugs, weapons, all this foolishness. Then everybody wants, oh, okay. No, I'm sick of it. I am sick of the foolishness. Because at the end of the day, if we keep allowing them to hold a narrative and do what they want to do, coming to our communities, and literally for no reason, and for me, and it broke my heart to just see this young man with a horse and like doing things, giving back to the community. It brought a childhood memory to me because my father used to ride on a horse and selling fruits and stuff like that in the community. I remember, like, everybody knew my father in the hood, and they called him Hunk. No, that was his little nickname. But he also literally had a horse, the carriage, and was selling fresh watermelon, bananas, all that type of stuff. Whole point of what I'm trying to say, that's why they was covering up. Because they killed a good community person. And that's the same way, God forbid, if they would have did that to me, they would have had that scene just like that to cover up and say, oh, well, Miss Jones, she brandished her weapon, some foolishness. Sad part that breaks my heart is we believe what they say. That's the part, it already breaks my heart that stand up for ourselves. When anything happens to us, we better not. We gotta worry about the racist people saying their stuff, and you gotta hear the racist comments on blogs saying, "Oh, I bet you it was a teenager. Oh, that's bloody more and all foolishness." This horrible stuff associated with them brown folks. Let's be crystal clear. So, with that being said, if that's not enough, then we have our own brothers and even own sisters coming out the shit that did, and without even doing their own research, without being their own conscious consumer. They just believe what the narratives of the lying killer cops say. And the part that really irks me, and it took me literally to the 2013, when and he's always coming out. He's been doing it since the same foolishness, and that's why we kept saying we did not want this man to be the commissioner. We should have had whoever we wanted to pick, but they pick and choose who they want to choose. But the fact that he always comes out without even hearing anything, and off the top, he pretty much has his killer chops back. He don't even say stuff like, "Well, we're gonna do a thorough investment. We're gonna find out. We're gonna get to the say." He just place and we're trying to protect you guys. We're doing this. We just pulled them over to make sure that he ain't robbed like that. That says somebody just robbed somebody, person's description, and even if you're dead, guess what? That wasn't a reason to kill that man. That was well, they had a weapon. When white people had weapons, when David Lipnicum had his weapon, when his family called and said, "Hey, my son is facing a mental health crisis. We need you guys to send counsel." They sent counsel to Henry. He shoots 2 of them. Say he shoot another, takes the whole police car, take the whole police car. Then they shut the whole county down. Everything. And they allowed him not to even get a stick and walk this man to accountability. Foolishness. I feel some type of way every time somebody, oh, well, it shouldn't have brandished the gun. It shouldn't have did that. Save that foolishness for somebody else. Until it happens to your loved one, save the foolishness. I don't want to hear it. And it's sad. And it's disgusting. It's an outcome. We're just trying to survive, give it back, doing whatever, never breaking out. And since I posted on Baltimore's banner, and I just got on the news because I'm just getting off of work. I had my phone locked up all day, and then I pull over to the side of the road. When I saw it, it broke my heart. But literally, just always like you come right inside. I mean, that's like we keep allowing them to do this. And it makes me think of a young Muslim brother that was gunned down in the man in West Baltimore at this giant supermarket where Brandon Scott's mother worked at. Brother Lee was there. You know, a white security guard, y'all. Not even a police officer, white security. What man gonna stand there and take that? And the only thing he did was they said he took his shirt up, but it was so cold they had just left the temple. He's a Muslim brother. He's not breaking the law in the community for selling bean pies. Handsome, nice young brother with his family in a grocery store, and he just did the most thing that you could was make sure, you know, in the summertime. Marcus, it's freezing in there, you know, and they just left the pool. So I can imagine baby being cold. So he took the shirt off, really put it upon his bed, but son of the white security guard coming and saying, you know, nice, you gonna start like disrespectful and all type of stuff, and then literally kill our brother in cold blood. And nothing happens, and we sat by. That's me. We keep sitting by, letting them do what they want to do to us, and we wonder why. How many more brothers get killed? How many more sisters are going to get killed? How many more? What is it going to take enough to be enough? Like literally, we're putting sweat, and the ones that are real serious about this are putting blood, sweat, and tears and trying to change these racist laws in Annapolis. We're trying to do all this stuff, right? But nothing's still changing. They're still killing us in cold blood. Cold blood. And as bad as I wanted to be streets tonight talking about it, because me, the old me, I would have been right down and be like, guys, guess what? West Wednesday gonna be right there on Penn North. Meet me there at 7 o'clock. See, I'm walking real mild right now, and I'm walking like that for a reason, because that right now they already shook up about the AG's report that just hit, and I know all 17 of those stinking are literally watching, shaking in their boots. Right? The ones that murdered my brother, knowing that I'm going to get my brother case reopened, and I'm going to get every last one of them in a cell block. I promise y'all that. But my point is, I'm moving smooth, not even just for that, for y'all safety. Because I can't even talk on my phone, guys. Like, they all in my phone, making me miss phone calls, cutting my phone. I mean, doing all type of stuff. But that's not going to stop me. My thing is, and I learned this just by, like, seeing people, our ancestors, go through the same thing that we went through. The ones that they cannot pay off, they will try to kill off. And if they can't kill you, they will throw you. They'll make up charges on you and have you living in jail. And people talking about radio show, free my sister or free my brother, get him out, and then you They treat you like a guinea pig. They feed you all type of nasty jail food. They're putting using you as a guinea pig. That's what they do when you fight for accountability. And it's so disgusting to me. And the fact that we keep on allowing it. Like what? And I give coalition. I give kudos for my brave brothers and sisters that was out there that was chasing the police. I give kudos, and I'm not riot. I'm not trying to start no uproar. So if you're gonna hear me clearly. I just give kudos, but and in a way and say, you don't tell. I mean, he's telling us, and we just gonna sit by, pull out our phones and watch. So no, we're not gonna keep doing that. We not. Like literally, it disgusted me. Like yesterday was so horrible. Cause like when I saw that before, I saw that I just had got that Eric Gardner's wife had passed away the day before, and that made me just think about how her husband died, screaming, "I can't breathe, I can't breathe." And then literally, you don't know what significant others and family members go through when you loved ones, right? And then literally, I know this poor queen, had to go through losing her soul husband, literally. Literally. Gardner lost his daughter, like his daughter passed, meeting her and doing die-in protests with this sister queen. And she died literally in the hospital, like giving birth to one of her babies. Like, this is sad what they do. Like, so, and let's keep in mind, going to the hospital. You can't even go into the hospital. You can't drive down the street because your name is on. And me, God forbid, when some stuff pop, this stuff happen, and then you can see it. Y'all gotta see stuff. And then I'm telling y'all now, that's what I'm talking about. Like, literally, I remember the time one of my children had an asthma attack. I go in the hospital. Somebody must have recognized my face. And I see an officer walking down, and he's going to say, and at the time, my daughter was young, and he's going to say, "Watch out, this is black stuff. Stay there." I'm trying to top off why I got my child, but I'm trying to be a mother. I said, okay, let me here now as a mother, and I'm like, maybe it is an animal, maybe the dog that got loose and the dog is, like, why would they be in the hospital? But maybe it's an animal. Like I'm saying, oh, mommy, what's around the corner? What kind of animal? I wonder what kind of animal. So whatever was calming her down from having her attack was like, oh, and go around there's a bunch of police officers. And I made the remark as I walked past and got the stinking animals are right here. And my baby didn't even know what I was talking about at the time. But my whole point is it follows you everywhere you go. When you're on the right side of accountability, it follows you to your workplace. You get treated like trash. It follows you everywhere. But I don't give a damn where it follows me at. Guess what? That's why I'm living out of your minds, while I'm granted life. I'm going to fight for what's right, and I don't care what, they or whatever, however they try to paint me out to be. I'm going to fight with integrity, and I'm going to fight with love. And I want any and everybody to know, as soon as you guys hear something, and I think the brother, because I'm horrible with names, but I think his name was Brother Bilal, if I'm saying it right. But anyway, once you find out about our brother that just was murdered, and any planned protest proceedings, anything, reach out to me via Facebook, YouTube, wherever. Leave me a message on the West Coalition, because Can't even hear me because I just got a message saying that they got my phone all chopped up and everything, and it's just sad and disgusting. But if you guys can hear this, if you guys hear any type of planned protest for our brother that was just murdered and killed, please reach out to me directly and I will come out and stand in solidarity. I want to check any questions or comments. Mic check.
Mic check. Can everyone hear me?
We can hear
Yeah.
you, Leah.
Okay, great. Yes, we do have a good amount of comments tonight. Starting off from Bruce, mic check. Good evening, all. Mic check from Angela. Mic check from Judah. AC Britt. The scene looked exactly the same with a huge police presence as Tyrone's. Tons of white shirts, 3 different versions of the story, and they pronounced him after the 11 o'clock news. Baltimore Police Department is itching to have a replay of 2015. The fascists are igniting explosive interactions with the public in city after city. You know the racists are itching to ignite things here in Baltimore. They use the same script over and over, and the media eats it up. Only independent news is reporting the discrepancies, and this young man's identity was put out by the independent media, not the cops. A mic check from Mainism. AC Britt also commented, I guess whomever was supposed to bring the script forgot it yesterday. This happened at 7 o'clock-ish, and they claim he died at shock trauma at 11:30. Bruce commented, it's a scary situation all around. AC Britt commented, the crowd out there knows the truth. Peace to BJ and his family. Stress is a big factor in the family member's death. Bilal Abdullah is his full name. Angela commented, AC Britt, stress, PTSD, and anxiety, a whole lot of sleepless nights. And AC Britt commented, that part, Ange. Mic check.
Okay, go, Tawanda. Tawanda, you're on.
Can y'all hear me? Mic check.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, again, I apologize because the police is all in my phone and it's breaking me up. So you hear anything I said, but my heart goes out to our brother Bilal. It's so sad and it's disgusting. And we're going to stand in solidarity. We're going to stand, and I'll let you guys know when the next action is, but we're definitely going to stand. And if y'all have anything planned for our brother Bilal, please reach out to me personally and I will be there. You know, if my schedule allows it, if it's anytime late in the evening or on the weekend, let me know and I will be there. But this is sad, and I couldn't really hear all the comments that we had gotten in because, again, there's a lot of technical issues happening deliberately over here, and it's disgusting. Like, you pay your phone bill, you pay your bills, and you still can't get quality service. That sucks. Like, they got jammers all over my property. Over. So, and they got me sounding like a robot. It's disgusting. But it's not going to stop. They could put a jam on every end of my house. They're not going to stop me. So with that being said, I just want to thank everybody that tuned in. And then I also want to, before we read the sad list, I want to see if Rachel or Brother Brian wants to chime in to say anything about what happened yesterday with our brother Bilal. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check. I think we should go to the sad list, Tawanda.
Oh, okay. Now I wanted to know if y'all wanted to say anything. Y'all don't want to add or say anything about our brother?
Not much to add, really. It's a crime and a pity, and we don't know much of what happened at this point, and we don't expect to learn much from the police, and we'll just have to go with what we can and look for people to be taking action and moving forward.
Okay. So I'm just going to say a disclaimer. Again, I'm not going to read it because my phone is chopping. You probably don't even be able to hear me anyway. But I just wanted to let you guys know it is the mission of the West Coalition to fight for accountability for my big brother Tyrone West, and not just him. Invitation for all the victims of police brutality and murder. And we know that everybody that's brutalized does not, die, but they are traumatized forever. And my heart goes out to them as well, and praying for their healing and their strength. We as the West Coalition, we have different beliefs. One thing's for certain and two things for sure. We believe in peace. We believe in love. We believe in mediation, right? So if you ever, come to any type of issue with somebody, we'd rather you sit down and talk about it and everybody walks away than to use a weapon. We literally get our list from local and national news outlets. We don't know anything of what happened to the victims. All we know is someone died. And we're just sad. Like, to me, and I always say, no one deserves to be brutally murdered. I always say, live to love, love to live. No one deserves to be brutally murdered or executed. And we're here to stand in solidarity, just with nothing but respect for the families. We're not here to exploit nobody. We're not here to traumatize nobody. We're just here out of love and out of respect. So if you guys are into saying prayers, please take this. We're going to take 1 minute before we get into the sad list. You can pray. If not, that's fine. Activity, and we will return. Matter of fact, I'm going to make it 7:47 just to be honest. 7:45, if it allows us to go to 2 minutes.
Mic check.
Kevin, mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Brian, can you hear me?
Yeah.
7, thank you guys. Mic check.
Mic check. So I'm going to be reading both lists this week. And the first list is the list of community deaths here in Baltimore. And the newspaper, the Baltimore Sun, that we get these lists from, is reporting 4 deaths in Baltimore, but only giving one name. And so we're going to read that name, but we're also going to lift up the name of Bilal Abdullah. And so, but from the paper on the 13th of this month, 23 years old, LeVar Steels.
LeVar Steels.
And of course, yesterday was killed by police, Bilal Abdullah.
Bilal Abdullah.
And then across the nation, at the hands of police, on we only have 3 days worth. We have 3 days worth of information from the 10th to the 12th, and it may not be all the information for the 12th. So the excuse me, a little froggy in my throat here. So I'm just going to begin with the June 10th. In Albert Lee, Minnesota, 44 years old, killed by police, Nathaniel Bailey.
Nathaniel Bailey.
On the 10th, in Dade City, Florida, 25 years old, killed by police, Christian Perez.
Christian Perez.
On the 11th, in Saucier, Mississippi, 40-year-old male, killed by police, Jason Simmons.
Jason Simmons.
Also on the 11th, in Gilbert, Arizona, a 24-year-old male, killed by police, Jacob Allen Rose.
Jacob Allen Rose.
Also on the 11th, in Carlisle, Arizona, a 33-year-old male, killed by police, Felipe Milan Gomez.
Felipe Milan Gomez.
And our last name tonight, on the 12th, in Beaumont, Texas, 35-year-old male, killed by police, Andy Ortiz.
Andy Ortiz.
Thank you.
Thank you. Something, or we might be planning something to survive. Planning something sometime tomorrow, just because I'm sorry that you could be. Do something on tomorrow for Juneteenth. So remember Juneteenth. I'm sorry. So remember, live to love to live. I love you all. If you could please stay tuned for the video that we showed you at the beginning. We're going to take you away. And thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Brian. And thank you, everybody that tuned in. And, share questions, thoughts. And thank you, Kalia, for reading the comments. Thank you. Live to love.
And Mr. West begging for his life, and Mr. Salam begging for his child to be excluded and comforted from what was taking place. Not for himself, but for his 3-year-old child.
Case number 4, Adina Britt and family, September 10th, 2015.
My name is Adina Britt, and I wanted to submit a 30-second testimonial that Jorge Omar Bernardez Ruiz is one of the 11 terrorists that came into my house performing a home invasion in September 2015, terrorizing my entire family and even holding my 12-year-old son at gunpoint. He needs to be stopped.
Case number 5, unidentified arrestee, assaulted in 2016.
I suggest you back the fuck up. No, why you
Again, this video did not surface until the summer of 2020. Case 6, Thomas McCullough, May 2016, and February 2017.
I heard my front door coming off the hinges like it exploded.
Thomas McCullough says it happened twice. In May 2016 and February 2017, Baltimore City Police burst through his green front door and raided his Pimlico home.
They said, police. They come up, shotguns, guns.
He says officers ransacked the place, looking for drugs, money, and weapons. He took pictures of the damage he says they left behind.
Tell us where the drugs are, the scales, the guns, and the large amounts of money.
Nothing was found. Now he's suing police, claiming officers, including a former member of the Gun Trace Task Force, frightened him, his wife, and father-in-law when the officers conducted what his suit calls an illegal search of his home. The owner of the house tells 11 News after the second raid, he had to replace the front door. McCullough and his attorney say they want Baltimore police held accountable.
There is a colossal breach of trust.
And McCullough tells us following both raids, no one was arrested or charged.
This all begs the question, when will Baltimore City State's attorney see the prosecution of Bernardez Ruiz as warranted?
They were the stopping officers in these so-called jump-out cars, unmarked and so forth, that stopped both the West vehicle and the Salam vehicle without probable cause. And these officers are the ones that also were joined by others, but they are the ones who initiated the stops, pulled both men out of the vehicles, and commenced the vicious activity that was thrust upon them.
And the officer Ruiz that started this attack is still working and working with promotions. He is now sergeant. But the fact that this repeat violent offender had a history leading up to my brother. There was Darrell Harris, there was James Green, Joseph Green, Abdul Salam. No one family deserves to be brutally murdered or brutalized by this repeat violent offender Ruiz. It is time we take action. The time is now.
Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardez Ruiz is a repeat violent offender. Based on these accounts, in accordance with the law, we, the West Coalition, call for him to be fired, prosecuted, and incarcerated.
We're more than hashtags and body bags. We're more than being 6 feet in the dirt and pictures and buttons on t-shirts. Our lives matter.
For the safety of our city, the prevention of further harm, and the justice for these families, we see no other option.
And again, I'll say, the time is now.